Hey you guys, it's me SpongeBob #1 fan 2003 here, and as you can see I'm here with this super duper awesome SpongeBob coloring book, and this one is called Private Eyes, and this is actually a very super fun 3D coloring book, and it even comes with 3D glasses, and I really super love this book, and I cannot wait to show it to you guys today. Okay, so as you can see on the front cover, there's adorable little SpongeBob dressed up in a detective outfit, and he's holding a magnifying glass, and he has little Plankton there, and there's a little sign right here that says Private Eyes, which is obviously the title of this book, and there's some pencils and pens and a stapler and paper. Okay, and then here is the spine, and then here is the back side. It's obviously just like the front cover, but there's no Private Eyes part. It's just, you know, the barcode and golden books and Nickelodeon and stuff, and created by Steven Hillenburg. Okay, so let's go ahead and start looking at the pages that are in this book. Okay. Woo. So obviously here are the really neat 3D glasses, and these are so awesome. So right here it says left and right, and I like how it kind of looks like SpongeBob, and obviously there's a red area and a blue area. Oh, you can see SpongeBob through them. But, yeah, obviously these, do work pretty well. You just put them right by your, like, you put them, like, in front of your eyes, and it'll make the pictures pop out. But obviously it'll work a lot better once the pictures are colored in. But yeah, here's this side. It basically looks just like this side, but there's no left or right part. You know? Okay, so let's go ahead and start looking at the pages. Okay, but firstly, this book was made in the year 2012, and then there's Patrick and SpongeBob with their magnifying glasses and their detective hats, and there's little instructions on the 3D glasses. Okay. But, firstly, you can obviously tell that there's some, like, funky stuff here. Like, you can see red and, like, a blue color. Because, obviously, this is a 3D book. Kind of like Road Trip in 3D and the other 3D books that I have. But anyway, so, SpongeBob and his pet snail Gary are playing fetch together. And, obviously, they're really great friends. And Gary always tries to help out SpongeBob. So, you can see that SpongeBob and Gary are playing fetch here. And then SpongeBob is balancing on Gary's shell with one foot. That looks very funny. Okay. And Gary's now crawling on SpongeBob, and SpongeBob says that he and Gary should always stick together. But unfortunately, one morning SpongeBob finds out that his pet snail Gary is missing. Man, it's almost like, have you seen the snail and SpongeBob on the run? But, SpongeBob thinks that Gary has been snail-napped, and then SpongeBob sees a trail of peanut butter. I love peanut butter. It's really delicious. But, yeah, SpongeBob sees a trail of peanut butter, and it leads to Patrick. And Patrick admits that he took SpongeBob's peanut butter, but he hasn't seen Gary. Oops. Okay. And SpongeBob and Patrick decide to dress up as detectives and try to look for Gary. And then Patrick and SpongeBob hear a scream, so they go to see who's screaming. They think it's Gary, though. And apparently the terrible screaming is coming from Squidward and his clarinet. And SpongeBob ties Squidward to a chair, and he asks Squidward to sing, "Where's Gary at?" These pages are quite thick. That's very nice. But anyway, so Squidward screams that SpongeBob's silly snail isn't here. And SpongeBob is getting very worried. And SpongeBob tells SpongeBob says that he has to get all of Bikini Bottom involved with this, and he has a missing snail poster. And SpongeBob yells into a megaphone, "Has anyone seen Gary?" Oh, look, the title of that one episode. Have you seen the snail? But yeah, it's a sign, obviously. But yeah, SpongeBob's still trying to look for his pet. And then he sees Sandy holding something shiny with a little swirl on it, and SpongeBob thinks that it looks just like Gary's shell. But Sandy says that that's her football helmet. And Patrick says that he'd love to play football with Sandy, but he can't rest until he finds Gary. And then SpongeBob sees Mrs. Puff and she won't stop to talk. And then Patrick and SpongeBob chase after Mrs. Puff, thinking that she stole Gary. But Mrs. Puff said that she hasn't seen SpongeBob's snail, and she was just only trying to get away from SpongeBob. And then Patrick thinks he sees Gary, or something like that. And obviously Larry the lobster is working out, and even Patrick's lifting up a barbell, but it's so tiny. It looks like a barbell for ants. Anyway, Larry hasn't seen Gary, and you can see that SpongeBob looks like he's about ready to cry, cause he's getting so worried about his pet. And then Patrick and SpongeBob see another trail, and they think that that might lead to Gary. And then they see Mr. Krabs with a treasure chest. And obviously Mr. Krabs hasn't seen Gary either. And then SpongeBob sees Plankton, and SpongeBob picks up Plankton and asks him, what does he know? That's my favorite picture. I love how cute SpongeBob looks. But Plankton says that he hasn't seen... Well, actually, no. He says, I know where Gary is. He's right behind you. And then apparently Gary was only out for a jog. So yep, SpongeBob... Well, Plankton found Gary, and SpongeBob was so happy that he found Gary, and he hugs his pet snail. That is so cute, and yeah, you can see that little SpongeBob really missed him. That is so cute, though. Oh my gosh, look at how cute that picture is. Aww. Alright, so it's actually all for Private Eyes. This is actually a very super neat coloring book. My favorite part was probably when Plankton found Gary, and SpongeBob is very happy and he hugs Gary. But I really like the nice pictures in here. They're very, very good quality, and I can't wait to color in it and use the 3D glasses to see the fun 3D-ness. Okay, let me just get the glasses and put them back into the book. Alright, so that's all for SpongeBob SquarePants Private Eyes. So yeah, goodbye everybody, have a great day, and peace out.